I bought every Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance so you don't have to. That's right, the brand that modeled their bottle after my own physique, without my permission. For this video, I went to the men's section on Jean Paul Gaultier's official website and I bought every single fragrance, apart from their Le Male Pride, I think it's called Peak Edition, the feminine bottle, because apparently the fragrance smells very obviously for women. Because this is a men's style fragrance channel, we're going for the men's fragrances today. For each release, I'm going to go through the scent profile, the performance, when I think you should wear these fragrances, and finally my final score out of 10 for each fragrance. Jean Paul Gaultier is more of a casual, sexy brand. You're going to have a lot of sweet, fun, inviting fragrances. Nothing necessarily going to be great for the office here, but as a fun brand, I think I really like it. It has a lot of personality. Let's explore the fragrances. We're gonna start off with the big boy, the original Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. When I was growing up as a baby teenager, I always smelled this on the adults of my family. I always thought this was a grown-up fragrance. This was made by Francis Kurkdjian, the famous perfumer who owns his own brand, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, when he was 25. Imagine being 25 years old and becoming probably a millionaire by making a world top-selling fragrance. I think it's still their best-selling fragrance to this day. It is Francis Kurkdjian's creation, his artistry. He actually described it in an interview where he likes to take traditional concepts and then twist them on their head. So he took a minty lavender barbershop DNA, you know, that fresh aftershave smell you get from a traditional barbershop soap, for example. He took that and made it a lot more sweet, powdery, sugary, with a lot of cinnamon and vanilla in this fragrance. This is a sexy, sweet barbershop fragrance that ruled the clubs back in the day. This obviously got reformulated big time. I still think it's an incredibly sexy smelling fragrance. It's extremely well balanced between lavender, mint, cinnamon, vanilla. Nowadays, it's not loud, it's a very quiet fragrance. It's a lot closer to the skin with a soft projection and 6 hours longevity. I still think this works fantastically as a date night fragrance. If you want to seduce that special someone during the autumn and winter seasons, it still gets a high score from me personally, subjectively, but being objective, I'm trying to give you guys what I think would be fair scores if you took away someone's personal opinion. I'm trying to be professional here. I would give this a 7 out of 10. It's a classic, but it has been gutted. Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. The fragrance hyped up by Jeremy in the community. A woman said to him, I love how this smells on you. I hate how good you smell with this. It's a classic tale as the fragrance community. And this is a classic clubbing fragrance. It has that DNA. It's been gutted in its performance as well. But if you're gonna smell this fragrance, it's gonna smell like a candied pear bubblegum scent with a lot of vanilla in here. It's very, very sweet. It's fun, sexy. I would say unisex, actually. I wouldn't say this is only a masculine fragrance. It's very playful and it gives a nice projection still to this day. So it's not as loud as it used to be. I remember when I smelled it in testers when it was more new, it was monstrous. You know, when you go to the tester store and you try out like 8 different fragrances all over your skin. Am I the only one who does that, guys? But yeah, one spray from this would just completely overpower all the other scents and it smelled so sexy. I think this is a very sexy fragrance. So overall, the performance now is a bit closer to the skin. It's now a moderate projecting fragrance. Still gonna work for the clubs. Might even work for dates if you don't go too heavy on the spray. Autumn and winter time, and I get about 8 hours longevity on this modern day bottle. I had to repurchase Ultra Male just to see what the current formulation is for you guys. So yeah, about 8 hours, moderate projection. I give it an 8 out of 10. Le Male Le Parfum. And I even got a little mini tester of it for this video. Look how cute it is. I wanted to test the current formulation. Le Male Le Parfum is the original Le Male DNA updated. It focuses very prominently on cardamom. For you guys who don't know, cardamom is one of the sexiest fragrance notes in perfumery, in my opinion. It makes the Le Male DNA more modern, smooth, and romantic. I think this is a fantastic date night fragrance that performs better as well. You get 8 to 10 hours of longevity with a moderate amount of projection. You're going to be able to wear it in 3 seasons, spring, autumn, and winter. Overall, objectively, I would say this is the brand's best fragrance for sure. It may, subjectively, my opinion is that I should still prefer the Le Male DNA, the original, for myself, but keeping it professional, guys, keeping it honest with you, This is a 9 out of 10. I think it is the brand's best. Now that we've done the Le Male fragrances, let's move on to the Le Beau line. We're doing the Eau de Toilette first. I had a previous sample of Le Beau EDT. I've reacquired this sample. It is overall a simple fragrance. It smells like skin lotion is how I would describe it. It is coconut and tonka bean, which gives this little smooth, sweet muskiness to a fragrance. Coconut, tonka bean, close to the skin. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I think if you look at the note breakdown, I think that's pretty much it as well. It's a fragrance for someone who wants something minimalist. It's not going to be trying too hard to be something crazy, but you do have advantages with Le Beau. So you get a pleasant smelling coconut scent. You don't get too many coconut fragrances for men in general. And you get something that's very versatile. It's very inoffensive, wear it all year round. If you want a coconut, smooth, sweet signature, wear it all year round. I don't like how simple it is, and I feel that it's sort of like a poor man's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Eau Extreme has a similar smooth tonka bean dry down that this has. But overall, it's not a bad fragrance. It's solid. You get 8 hours longevity, soft projection, so it's really inoffensive. 7 out of 10. And now I've recently acquired the new Le Beau Le Parfum. This is a new fragrance. I thought they'd do something crazy with the DNA here. I'm a little bit disappointed. It is better though, in my opinion. They added some extra facets to it. It has more character than the EDT. So it's still gonna have that coconut and the tonka bean, very safe, modern DNA, but they've added some extra notes like pineapple, some woods. They made it a tiny bit sweeter. It smells a bit more mature, a bit more interesting than the EDT. Similar performance, 8 hours with a slight bit more projection, but overall soft. Great versatility, great versatile coconut signature. The pineapple isn't too much here, so it is still all about the coconut. An improvement, but still disappointing. I feel like they could have done more with this DNA. Overall though, 8 out of 10. Let's move on to the Scandale line. You know that advert with the weird boxer who creeps everyone out? Let's start off with the Eau de Toilette. I've reacquired an EDT sample of Scandale. I did a previous video on this as well. And before I said that this is a pleasant, mass appealing fragrance that is lackluster. It's forgettable. This is I know the kind of audience that they're aiming for with this fragrance. They want someone who doesn't have too much experience with fragrances. You go to the department store, you smell something nice, you buy it. It's not bad, it's a good signature that smells of simple tonka bean again. A lot of isoe super, it's got some woodiness in here, it has some dry woodiness with a distinct caramel note. The caramel note is what gives it this most character, but overall it's not going to be a cloyingly sweet caramel. It's still overall a fresh, balanced fragrance that I think you can wear pretty much all year round. You get about 6 to 8 hours performance with a soft to moderate projection. So as I said, a safe, mass appealing signature, but it will not blow you away if you're in the fragrance community. I'll give it a generous 7 out of 10. Then I acquired Scandale Le Parfum. So Le Parfum, again, like Le Beau Le Parfum, I was expecting big things here. It is still a similar vibe overall. It is the very safe, lackluster DNA that JPG are going for. Very safe tonka bean based perfumery with more focus on the woods, more focus on warm ambers here. They're taking away the caramel notes. I feel like this fragrance has less character than the EDT, but it's a more mature, warm amber scent. It has a nice blend, but overall it's still forgettable. But again, it's very pleasant. I think most people who haven't smelled hundreds of fragrances are going to love this. It's got a similar performance. It's quite disappointing actually. It's got the same performance as the EDT essentially, 6 to 8 hours, soft to moderate projection. Disappointing in that regard, but overall it's not a bad fragrance. It's just a different take on a similar vibe. So overall, I'm still going to give it a 7 out of 10. And if you guys have tried any of the JPG fragrances I've discussed here, make sure to also share your comments down below. Remember, it's just my one opinion, but I'm trying to be objective as much as I can here. And finally, I sort of forgot this, Le Male Pride Edition. So I guess this would still fit in with the original Le Male line, but it smells very different to those fragrances. So I'm putting it on its own at the end here. Le Male Pride Edition. I wasn't too sure about this fragrance. I didn't know that it existed. And I actually looked it up on Fragrantica. I saw it had very low ratings, which is annoying because now I've put some bias into my mind. I don't like, biasing my reviews by seeing what other people said beforehand if I can avoid it. Sometimes I can't avoid it, but yeah, anyways, I got this fragrance. I saw that it was unisex overall. I thought it was an interesting concept, and it's not bad. It's an okay fragrance. It's not mind-blowing. I'm not sure if it does deserve a high rating, actually, to be honest. But if you smell this fragrance, it smells like a summertime fragrance. I don't think it's a good replacement overall for Superman and Popeye, which used to be the great, highly acclaimed summertime fragrances from this brand that are now discontinued. It smells like, to me, it smelled like candied mandarin, so sweet candied mandarin with a white floral musky dry down. I think it is unisex, and I don't think it's mandarin, I think it's blood orange, but you know, it's a similar vibe. It's not bad. It's very simple, again, a minimalist fragrance you're gonna wear in the spring and the summertime. Disappointing performance, about 4 to 6 hours. It's got its own style. If you like that fluffy, soft, musky type of fragrances, white florals, then you might enjoy this. I mean, I feel like someone who enjoys Maison Margiela fragrances might enjoy something like this. It's quite synthetic overall. Not a mind-blowing summertime fragrance. Not the worst. Overall, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. So that's the buying guide concluded, guys. I think Jean Paul Gaultier have sick packaging. I love the creativity of the bottles physique that's made after me, of course. But I feel like they could be more creative. They're going very simple in their fragrances, going for pure mass appeal. I wish they went a bit more risky with their scents themselves. What do you think of this brand, guys? Obviously, as I said at the beginning, they're a very casual, fun, playful brand. I'm not sure which of these you'd use for the office. Maybe Le Beau. Le Beau could work. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our other fragrance buying guide videos. Let me know what you thought of this video. Would you like to see more buying guides where I buy every single scent from each brand? I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.